ChaosTv, and tonight our special guests, the Young Gods.
Hello there, hi Poland. This is Franz Treichler from the Young Gods, and you're watching ChaosTv.
Before we will begin, let me welcome you to Poland once again. And how is the tour going so far?
It's going very good. Yeah.
How did the Prague show go? Because I heard that it got completely sold out.
Yes. We had to add a second day, actually. Well, Prague is special for us, and actually Czechia in itself. We have a very good following there, and people go crazy, and it's really happening. Very nice.
All right, so I was wondering, because this album, everybody knows, has been recorded by basically a quartet, as you have a new band member.
Yes.
So I was wondering, how did it change your work routine on this album? Or did it anyhow influence it?
Of course. Yeah. Well, we choose to, Vincent, who joined the band for the acoustic project.
Yes.
We choose to keep on working with him for not only because of his tasks as a musician, but also for the human side. And I thought it was for us a bit time to change the formula, basically, because we've been three-piece for all those years, almost 25 years,
it's a long time.
Yeah. So he joined for the last record, not only as a musician, but also as a writer. And he's a good guitar player. He's a very good programmer. He knows a lot of things about sounds and
this is always
computer
useful.
Sounds and things. So basically, he was welcome to bring in his ideas, and the way we composed the record was like a little bit like a puzzle, but everybody was participating into how you turn the pieces on the right side, bring some ideas and put them together, and every song has maybe a source from one of us, but the final result is done by the four of us. So
it was, if I understand correctly, somewhat of a democratic
yeah,
process.
very democratic.
Okay.
Yeah.
When I was reading an article about the Young Gods in a magazine, Rock and Rolla, there was a thesis there saying that the Young Gods have never recorded the same album twice, which I personally agree wholeheartedly with. But while listening to your latest album, I couldn't help but notice that this is a very mellow, warm-sounding, almost acoustic even album, especially when compared to things like TV Sky, which was quite anger-filled, I would say.
Yeah.
I don't know if my interpretation is correct, but
No,
this is at least how I see it. So
that's true.
But I was wondering if it was somewhat of a challenge for you as artists to find a formula to show such an introvert material on stage. I mean, on a rock concert, basically.
Well, you will see tonight. I think basically we come, as I said before, like from a background of being a power trio, and records like TV Sky or Only Heaven or almost all our records were done in this way. Now it's a bit more complex because we're four. Of course, now because the record is very new, we play most of it on stage, but I think it's definitely a different vibe on the record, and I think it comes naturally. It's not like there was a will to mix acoustic instruments with machines.
I was kind of getting the impression that this thing that you're mentioning now, that this, in case of Young Gods, that this is something that comes very naturally, that you're not one of those bands that are like we're gonna try something new now, but it's just like that the very essence of the band is about experimenting and evolving.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's as a musician, it's always the fun part is to try new things, basically, and see what you can do with it, and new sounds. An interesting thing is that we actually recorded it in Poland.
Oh.
I don't know if you know that, but
as a matter of fact, I
we
have to admit that I didn't.
1 month in a studio in the very south of Poland, in Włodzimierz.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know this place. It's
It's
quite
a
a famous place.
legendary place because
Yeah.
of this theater club
Of course.
rock music called the Factory, I think. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, so we recorded very close to the factory. There is a nice studio there. So we choose to go there because our producer, Holly Moziman, was working there. So it's back to Poland again, you know. But so on stage, we will have a mixture of what the band is regularly, like the power kind of thing, but also some more psychedelic moments and more acoustic moments as well.
There's one thing that was puzzling me and always puzzles me in case of bands that are existing for some significant time, not like new bands, because the Young Gods have started to function, to exist in early 80s.
Yeah, 85 exactly.
Yeah, so it's when I look back at the recent past, it's like 80s, and the 90s, and the times that we are living today, they are completely different eras.
Yes.
So I was wondering, what are your thoughts about leading the Young Gods as a, let's say, artistic institution, you know, throughout so many different realities? Because the times of Facebook are very different from the, let's say, mid-90s.
Yeah, and also you change as a person when you know, I started when I was 23, and of course 26 later you're not the same person anymore. But I think mainly what we're trying to do and what we're trying to say through the music hasn't changed so much, you know. It's always try to pass on a positive energy to people and
just the way it's packed, it's a bit different. This changes, this evolves, right?
Yeah, definitely.
It really struck me that many musicians from very different worlds, and I mean bands like Sepultura, Mike Patton, even The Edge from U2. So as you can see, completely different musicians.
Yeah.
They are mentioning the Young Gods as a very big inspiration in their work. And also, I heard that David Bowie, when asked about his inspiration behind the album Outside, said that his main inspiration was the sound of the Young Gods. So I was wondering, what's your thought about being such an institution?
Well, you know, every musician, I think, is trying to plant seeds here and there, you know, not really knowing if
That's the beauty of it.
if they will grow, you know. So basically that's what we've been doing. And when you have a feedback like this among musicians that you admire, we've been influenced also by those musicians.
Yeah, I was
know?
thinking that this is a bipolar reaction.
Of course, you know, like David Bowie was maybe one of the first ever vinyl 45 I bought was Genie or something like that, you know.
I found that in one interview you have mentioned some certain similarities between the sound of Young Gods and the sound of a band called Neurosis. And I was wondering if you were ever considering combining those two significantly different words together.
We played on the same stages.
Yeah, but I was thinking more about doing like a project together.
Together?
Yeah.
That would be a possibility because I think they're a really great band, yeah, definitely. But we never made it so far to go more than playing on the same stages. Or they invited us to play. It was a very good experience.
But still the aspect of the sonic landscapes that you both are, I would say, really into, I would say that this is a very common ground for both.
You know, I look at it in a very simple way. I think there is one music basically, and it's been traveling through the centuries, you know, and with the technology of the time, every time new technology comes, new music comes, and I think why should we have restrictions and why should we stick to, you know, why music is maybe the only ground where you can be away from conservatism, you know, and when you give yourself limitations or people are trying to, you know, create genre or make definition about what music should be, then we're in trouble basically because, you know, music is freedom, you know, so I think it makes no sense.